So a couple days ago, I was messing around in my office and I was smudging things. And smudging is essentially when you light something on fire and then you waft the smoke around the office to clear out negative energy. I've told you guys I'm a bit woo-woo. It is what I believe, but I had a little incident this time around, and without going into too many of the sordid details, it resulted in me sending out this tweet that says, I don't mean to undermine whatever credibility I may have, but I might have just almost set my sleeve on fire burning Palo Santo in my office, and it linked off to this picture on Instagram where I actually show myself burning Palo Santo. This was before I almost lit myself on fire. Again, I'm okay. No one was harmed in the making of this photo, but in this photo, someone on my Twitter page, one of my followers, Tito here, noticed this start with yes thing. I have it right here. I hope you can see it. I don't know if you can, but start with yes. And I have this sitting in front of my computer monitor along with all of my pretty crystals and all of those things. And he said, oh, may you elaborate on this? And I said I'd make a video of it because frankly, it's just easier for me to talk about these things than it is for me to write a dissertation on Twitter about these things. So why do I have this thing that says start with yes sitting in front of me at all times? Well, it started off when I, was basically starting my business and I had to do cold sales outreach. And listen, if anyone has ever had to do like cold outreach to sell something that you're doing, man, it is like a nerve-wracking thing. I don't like it. Like, it feels smarmy to me. I don't like the idea of selling myself. I don't like the idea of like pimping myself out to do this cold outreach to people who had never met me before. But I got some really good advice when I started doing this for my business, and that was yes lives in the land of no. What does that mean? It means essentially that the more no's you get, the more yeses you're going to get, because yes lives in that place where no exists, right? So if you rack up all those no's, maybe you even make it a contest to see how many no's you can get, the more yeses you're going to get along the way. So if I did this cold sales outreach and, 100 people told me no, but maybe 4 or 5 people told me yes, well, guess what? If I get 200 no's, that means 8 or 10 people are going to tell me yes. And so the more no's you rack up, the more yeses you get. That's where it kind of started off as. But to be honest, I haven't had to do as much cold outreach for sales in the last couple of years. I mean, maybe that's going to start up again. Who knows? But I left it on my desk because I like the idea of starting from a place of least resistance. Because I think oftentimes when we say no to things, no to people, no to ideas, we're resisting them for some reason. Now, I fully believe that everything that comes into our life comes into our life for a reason. I really do believe that that's the good stuff and the bad stuff. We create these scenarios that we find ourselves in. And so if something comes into your life and your instant gut reaction is like a knee-jerk, no, I don't want this in my life, I don't want you, I don't want this thing, I don't want this opportunity, whatever, I think you need to stop and ask yourself why. Why are you making that reaction? Why is it so knee-jerk? Why is no the instant answer? When instead, maybe we can start with yes and see where these opportunities that maybe we never would have expected would take us. I just think it's a more interesting way to live. It's also, by the way, saying no to things is also part of our survival instinct, because oftentimes we're saying no to things that they represent the unknown to us. It's not even that they're necessarily bad. It's just that they represent the unknown. For a lot of people, the unknown is a very scary place to be, but the unknown isn't necessarily bad. It's just uncomfortable. You're just not used to it. And maybe if you allow yourself to become used to it, you allow yourself to, play with it a little bit, you're going to end up much better off. You're going to end up with an amazing opportunity you never would have anticipated otherwise. So I think that there are a ton of benefits to starting with yes. And especially, oh my gosh, right now, especially since we're all stuck at home due to what's going on in the world, this is a golden opportunity to start pursuing some of those things that maybe you never had a chance to otherwise. Listen, I know you can't leave the house. I know we can't operate kind of as normal, but that doesn't mean you're closed off to opportunities. We are so lucky, guys. We are so lucky. We are so blessed that this is the time that we are quarantined in our house. Why? Because we have technology. We have all of these beautiful tools that allow us to connect with literally anyone in the world. Or most people in the world. Not everyone. I shouldn't say anyone, because not everyone has these tools. And aren't we blessed that we are the ones that do, right? But we can connect with so many people. This is a time to maybe share ideas, to think about what's possible. Maybe this was a little bit of space that we all needed. I think in this case, maybe my start with yes might be that maybe there's some benefit to all of this. Maybe if we look for the possibilities, we look for the good, we open up our mind to a new idea. Maybe that new idea is that this is for our best, this is in our greatest good. What's going on right now, being stuck at home? How could this benefit us? How could this serve us? There's also another part of Start With Yes that, it's the difference between being paranoid and pronoid. Now, pronoia is something I learned from my coach. You're going to see my coach showing up quite a bit on this channel because we're doing a little show together on Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Time. We're going to be doing it this week. It's going to be fun. But my coach he's a little woo-woo. He's a lot like me. And he taught me the difference between paranoid and pronoid. So paranoid, obviously most people know what paranoid is. It's thinking that everything is out to get you and everything is wrong and everything is bad and oh my God, people just want to throw you under the bus, whatever. A lot of people approach life from a paranoid point of view, that everything is out to get them, things are to be afraid of, we shouldn't tread into waters that we haven't tread into before. My coach, though, taught me the concept of being pronoid. What is pronoia? Pronoia is believing that everything that happens is working out in your greatest possible benefit. Everything is perfect. Everything is happening to serve you, to lift you up, to help you be more successful. That's the good things and the bad things. Listen, it is no more or less true to look on the bright side of something, to look on the more optimistic side, than it is to look on the more pessimistic, paranoid side, right? And I believe that the more you are pronoid in your life, the more you believe that things are working out in your greatest good, even if you don't understand them at the time, the more successes you're going to have and the happier you're going to be. So start with yes. Start with things are always working out for you. Things are always happening in your own greatest good. And you know what? Listen, you can always navigate challenges and obstacles when they get put in front of you. But what are the things that you aren't taking advantage of that you might be scared to? And what opportunities do you have now in this environment where so many of you are stuck at home? What opportunities do you have right now to do things that you have always wanted to do and maybe have been putting off? This is a beautiful time to be able to go and rediscover those opportunities. So start with yes. Start with it's all going to work out. Start with the universe is setting you up. God is setting you up, whatever you believe in. Or maybe if you don't believe in God, you're setting yourself up. You're doing your own work, whatever your beliefs may be. But I believe you're going to be a much happier life, much more productive life, a life where you can contribute, help other people, serve other people, lift other people up, and achieve whatever successes you want when you start with yes.